What you all did was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company. But the four of you have become known as the face of Severance reform.
It's Liam Crowley with Screen Rant here with Dan Erickson, and executive producer behind Severance Season 2. Dan, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I love this show. I've been waiting impatiently for 3 years, so I'm glad we get to talk a little bit about Season 2.
Oh, thanks. Well, I love you guys too.
Awesome. Well, for starters, I want to kind of dissect some of the lighting things that happen in this season. There's so much from the episodes I've watched in Season 2 where we're playing with blue, we're playing with red, and like there's fluorescence, there's deliberateness with the colors. What is that trying to tell us as audience members? Because I feel like I'm noticing a pattern.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we're doing, and people. A lot of people have picked up on the sort of the patterns, like, how MDR is blue, and the blue key cards with the green carpet and the blue and green lights on the Severance chip and all of that stuff. It's not necessarily as simple as like, well, blue represents this and green represents this. But it's sort of just trying to create something that feels of a piece and feels like a tapestry. Our director of photography, Jessica Lee Gagne, is an absolute genius and actually directs episode 7 of season 2. And she always said that it was so important to her to not just make this look like an office show, because it can be such a drab, sterile environment, and so we were always looking for ways to sort of make it visually appealing and be using that visual language to complement and add to the themes of the scripts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like there's no accidental choices in the show. Everything seems very preconceived. And I kind of want to go down that rabbit hole a little bit more with some of your camera choices. There are a couple scenes in season 2 I noticed where we're using handheld camera. It's a little bit shakier and it unsettles me as an audience member. I feel like I'm in like this kind of uncanny valley with what I'm watching. I would love to just kind of go down that rabbit hole with you of your choices when it comes to camera work in the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, most of that I have to give it up to again, Jess, the DP, and also Ben Stiller, our great director, and then the other directors who have also worked on the show. The sort of switching to handheld, I think it is often very much about unsettling people and making us feel disoriented in time and space, both on the inside and the outside. We always said that there should be this sense of we never quite know where we are, we never quite know which way is up. There's a sense of timelessness or feeling like it's taking place in different time, eras of time all at once. And so, and that just sort of mimics the feeling that the innies have, which is that they don't have context and their lives don't really have a shape. And so they feel like they're just sort of underwater a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. That's very beautifully said. I'm really glad we're here because, it took 3 years for us to get to season 2. There were a lot of reports over the past 3 years about what the writer's room was looking like and how it was shaping up for season 2. What's the current state of the Severance writer's room? Are you going to make me wait another 3 years for season 3?
We're really trying to not make it 3 years this time. It wasn't necessarily our intention to take that long the first time. But it is, I will say it's pretty consistent with how our first season was made. It took a long time to get the scripts right, and then it took a long time to shoot. But the difference, of course, season 1 is that nobody knew what the hell Severance was, and nobody was waiting around for it. So there was a little bit less pressure. But no, I mean, I will say that as we've gone along, we are thinking of the show more holistically, and with each new chapter that we tell, we're sort of figuring out more and more about where the rest of it is going, and that direction is getting more and more solidified. So, my hope is that however much more of the show there is, that it comes to you a little faster. I would also love to not be 70 by the time the show is over. Although, I'd be fun, I think it would be okay to like write the last scene and then just, finally pass away peacefully. That would be a satisfying end to my life.
Well, as long as you answer the old questions as quickly as you raise new ones, I'll watch the show for the next 15 years. Dan, a true honor. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. Great talking to you.
Hello, is anyone there? Is the board on? It's Marquez from Macro.